ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning. Today my topic is the language conundrum. Conundrum in English means a complex, difficult situation. 3 days back, our Honorable Prime Minister made a statement marking the completion of 3 years of implementation of national education policy. What did he say? Can somebody? Huh? Yes, good. So, national education policy, new education policy, emphasizes more on teaching in mother tongues. Of course, this government is seriously interested in preserving the Indian national languages because English is invading every country in the world where actually English is not their local language. Russia has the same issue, Germany has the same issue, France has the same issue. In the sense that they all have the fear. The one reason for Russia-Ukraine conflict is language. I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. Russians want to preserve their English, Russian language, but English is actually making inroads there. But you need to understand all these countries, Russia, China, Korea, Japan, France, Germany, they're all advanced nations. All are highly advanced nations today, but there is no English language. But in India, we have the feeling that to develop, to progress, to move forward, we need to have this language, we need to speak in English. And also, Prime Minister observed that In English, if you don't speak in India, if you don't speak English, you are considered a kind of backward. Hmm? And also, people develop some kind of inferiority complex also, particularly students who are hailing from rural areas. But unfortunately, when this I have to speak in English, then we have a difficult situation in India compared to other countries. For example, China, they have only one language. But in India, we have how many languages, official languages? Hmm? 20? 22. 22 official languages. So, if you want to travel to another state, for example, if you want to go to your other state next to neighbor, Karnataka. So, Karnatakas, they don't know Telugu, I don't know Kannada. Then what is the link language between two of us? Even to connect within the country, even if you want to travel, either I should be knowing Hindi or they should be knowing Hindi, or they should be knowing English and I should be knowing English. There must be one link language, right? So, after the exit of the British post-independence, somehow because of politics and various vested interests in this country, what is the link language for people of this country? Because here itself there are so many languages. If I go to Maharashtra, what language should I speak? I don't know Marathi. They don't know Telugu. There must be some link language, either Hindi or English. So government wanted to make Hindi actually as the language of the country. Actually, it's a genuine thing, because actually majority of the population speaks Hindi, at least except the southern states, 4 southern states. English Hindi they could have made the lingua franca, connecting language of this nation, but they couldn't do it because of opposition from southern states. Some southern states oppose, you don't impose Hindi upon us. Then, in the absence of that, by default, actually, English has become a kind of link language, but now the entire nation is struggling actually to shift to English, as it were. Entire nation, though we are very good at our languages are so beautiful, there is so much of cultural thought, so much of spiritual thought. They are all divine languages because they all have originated from Sanskrit. All Indian languages have originated from Sanskrit, so Sanskrit is full of spiritual wisdom, so Indian languages also have imbibed the spirit and full of spiritual wisdom. But anyway, but you also know that India with 1.4 billion population is struggling to provide employment and livelihood opportunities to its population. And that's why a lot of migration is happening from this country to other countries, America, Canada, Britain, New Zealand, Australia. Practically Indian diaspora is there everywhere in the world, except 1 or 2 countries. Even Mongolia, they said a few from 20 or 25 Indians are there, the least number. There is no country where Indians are not there. Every country Indians population is there. So Indian diaspora is spread all across the globe. But you also know that software today, if we are actually the leading nation in the world software, that is because of English language. Okay, you can't do without English. If you really want to improve your English, livelihood opportunities, employment opportunities, you have to have. There's no other way. If you can provide employment to all the people within the country, okay, good employment, then there is no need for learning language, English language. But that is not the situation, we all know. So, but the contention of the government is that if you can express your ideas and thoughts clearly in your mother tongue, that should be good enough for you to find an employment here in this country. But today the whole world is, connected through internet. If you know English, because that it has become by default the lingua franca, it has become the connecting language in India, and also world needed a connecting language for the first time after the advent of the internet. Before that, nobody felt the need so strongly. Most of the economies are actually kind of isolated economies. This much of export, import, this much of international trade and business was not happening. But today that's not. How many people are going to America to study in American university, people from India? Had you not known English, it would have been difficult. For people who are migrating to America from other countries, particularly from Middle East, from Korea and China, it is a very tough job there. After going to America, they have to learn English from ABCD. But for Indians, there is no such need, because you already know so much of English. You just go and you do well there. So, because of this increase in trade and because of this increase in business, there is an increase in employment opportunities worldwide. And as I say, because after the advent of the internet, the world needed a link language. Before that, nobody felt the need for a link language, because your country, my country is my country, you stay in your country, I stay in my country, your business is your business, my business is my business. Export, import was happening, but not at this scale. Today you get apple here 365 days. Every fruit practically is available except 1 or 2 fruits like mango. Why? How do you get apple here in midsummer? Because you are getting apples from Australia. When there is summer here in Australia, it is winter. 365 days. That was not the case when you were a young man, a young child, right? And whereas now today you get practically, because so much of export and import is happening. There is no way world can do today without actually some link language. Because around 35 countries, I think English is spoken. English has become the lingua franca of the world. Definitely by learning this language, your employment opportunities will improve. But I request all of you, Indian languages are divine, as I said already. India actually is a cultural and spiritual capital of the world. You have to have some love, some passion for your mother tongue, whatever may be your mother tongue. ఇన్ కన్నడ కావచ్చు, హిందీ కావచ్చు, తెలుగు కావచ్చు, మరాఠీ కావచ్చు, మాతృభాష మీద కొంత అభిమానం మాత్రం ఉండాలి. ఓకే, బట్ దట్ ఈస్ డివైన్ లాంగ్వేజ్. మన ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఈ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మాతృభాషతో పాటుగా ఇంకో 1-2 అడిషనల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నేర్చుకోవడానికి పెద్ద కష్టమేం కాదు. We have so much of cerebral capacity, human brain capacity. You can learn 10 languages easily, provided right orientation కనుక ఇచ్చి ఉంటే. If people actually had given the right orientation in childhood itself, you need English, you need one more foreign language also. It could have been easy. By now you could have been a master in English language as one more foreign language as well. A orientation లేకపోవడం వలన now actually at this age to learn English actually you have to struggle a bit. But I want to tell you that you all have enough English. The English that you have is good enough to get a good job. And I know you are here to fine tune your language skill. ఇంకా కాస్త ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చారు. ఆ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ జరుగుతుంది. మీరు you may not be happy with the pace at which you are learning, but don't worry, that's good enough. That speed you will learn very shortly the language skill. So you'll get out of the institute, you'll go out of the institute with great confidence and courage and clarity. That much I am sure, that much I can assure you. Our teachers I know are doing very, great job in imparting this language skill to you. So more about this I will tell you in my subsequent prayer meetings. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.